In today's episode, we finish out our city walls with some modular guard towers. Alright, so today we're going to be using a few different things. We're going to use some of this foam board that I got from the dollar store. This is a piece of leftover scrap, some rectangular barbecue skewers, some chopsticks. These are kind of oval shaped and rounded. One of these, this is a little tin. It had some little sweet wafers in it. I got it from a Asian supermarket. And then one of these little stencils that I got from Michael's. It's a 6-sided piece, and we're going to use that in a couple of different spots. Alright, so let's make some tower walls. So to start out, we're going to trim our piece of foam so that we have a section that's just about 3 inches wide. And this is going to be used to trace out the this is going to be 2 pieces. One of them is going to be for the base of the tower, and then one is going to be for the little guard perch on top of the tower. And I'm just going to quickly cut them out and set them aside for the moment. Now this one that I did 2 tracings on, I did that for a specific purpose, and this one is going to be for the bottom, and I'm just going to trace it out so that I can trim the edges flush so that they will line up with the base of the tower and not have any parts sticking out. So now I'm going to use this as a template to kind of scribe out all of the dimensions for the walls. Since I trimmed it, none of the walls sections are going to be perfectly the same size anymore, and I don't want to have to trim them once I've glued them all in place. Alright, and a few quick passes with a decently sharp hobby knife. And we've got our 6 sections of wall. Alright, so I marked all of these so that I don't mix up the order of them, and we're going to just very carefully scribe in a alternating large brick pattern. Now to do this, I reduced the blade to its lowest level so that there's just a little bit of the blade sticking out, and then I'm very carefully just scribing a very small, shallow cut into the foam. And this is going to just be a very easy way to create the repeating pattern. And then using a pencil, I exaggerate all the lines and just give them a little bit of depth and formation. And once that's done, we can go ahead and texture it using my texture plate that I put together, and a little bit of tin foil to give it that nice little stone appearance. Then, just to be sure everything stays, I re-exaggerate the lines just to make sure that none of them got caved in. Alright, so now to attach everything, I took one and glued it to the base piece, and then using a little bit more hot glue, I attached it to the tin. And then it's just a simple matter of going around in order to put all of the wall sections into place. Now, this tin is approximately 7 inches tall, and it is much thinner than a Pringles can, so it kind of gives you a good idea of the size involved. Okay, and now we need to seal up all of the foam with a 50-50 mix of some black paint and some Mod Podge. This is going to harden everything up and make it a lot easier to work with, and it'll also make it accept the paint in the next few steps a lot easier. Alright, now once I get this all coated, I'm going to set it aside to dry, and while it is drying, we can go ahead and start working on our guard station. So using the other hexagon that I cut out of the foam, I quickly trace out a pattern on a bunch of coffee stirrer sticks, and this is going to create a nice simple little wooden platform that's going to sit atop the tower. Now what I'm doing here is every other wooden plank, I cut it in half just to give the impression of a little bit of extra character and detail. This will make it look a little bit more like wooden planks that have been cut and then put into place. Now this last one here is a little bit small, so I'm not going to cut it in half. And now I can take a little bit of hot glue and tack everything into place. Now I'm using hot glue for this because I want to get this put together relatively quickly, but you can use any kind of glue that sets up reasonably quick, and as long as it doesn't warp the foam as it dries, you should be okay. Most white glues and PVA glues are going to work out just fine for this. But you definitely don't want to use super glue. That will melt the foam, and that's just going to be a messy, bad time for everybody. Alright, and there we go. So now I'm going to take the chopsticks, and I cut a bunch of them to 2 inches long, and then another pile to 1.5 inches. Now on the 2-inch sections, I'm just taking my hobby knife and trimming the edges to a little bit of a point. I'm not looking for something really sharp. I just want to give the impression that these are wooden logs that have been kind of trimmed to be used as kind of like a little palisade barricade kind of thing. And now I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue to create some little short walls out of all of these logs. So we have 6 walls that we're going to be making, and I needed to make them in a rough alternating pattern. So half the walls are going to have 3 of the longer pieces, and the other half are going to have 3 of the shorter pieces. Now, a lot of the hot glue that I used kind of oozed in between and kind of blobbed together, so I'm just using the tip of the hot glue gun to kind of melt everything down into place, and it'll also add a little bit of extra texture to the wood, just kind of smearing the glue around. You can kind of see what it looks like. Alright, now that we have our walls made, we can start attaching them to the base, and this is as simple as grab one, glue it in, grab its alternate piece, glue that into place, and just kind of slot them together kind of like the pieces of a puzzle. Now, when you get to the end, it can be a little interesting because you're going to have to glue it at the bottom and then kind of bend everything out so you can kind of slide it into place. But once that's done, it's all relatively strong and they all kind of support each other. Now, because I didn't really glue the corners together, I'm just adding a little bit of extra support with a round barbecue skewer that I just kind of had off camera, and I'm just doing a quick, simple little hot glue of this into place just to give the corners a little extra support. Okay, and now I think it's time to start painting. So starting with our tower, we're going to do a double coat of some Artist Loft Gray, doing a fairly heavy overbrush. Now, when I say a double coat, I'm doing a double just because I didn't like how faded the gray was after the first coat. If you do yours and you like how it looks, then by all means go ahead and keep it. You can have some really nice dark textures that way, and if that's what you want to go for, then absolutely go for it. But I wanted something a little bit lighter just to kind of match the walls that I had already put together. Once that was dry, I do a quick and dirty dry brush of some neutral gray over all of the stone just to pick out some highlights and give it all a nice bright texture. And you can see how quickly this goes. This does not take a whole lot of time at all. Alright, so now we're going to soften everything a little bit with a downward facing dry brush of some unbleached titanium. This is purely to kind of match it to the coloration that I had with the rest of the walls that I have already built. and this is just going to give it a little bit more of a muted brightness. So it's a little bit dimmer once it dries, and that just kind of helps tie everything together and give it a more earthy and warm appearance. Alright, so we can set that off to the side and start on our guard post with a nice, healthy overbrush of some raw sienna. Now you can see where the primer that I used, which was some Krylon flat brown spray paint, didn't quite get all of the angles, so I'm doing a pretty generous overbrushing to kind of disguise any areas that I didn't get with the primer base coat. And on the inside of this, you don't really have to be super detailed. And then to give it that nice kind of weathered and abused look, I do a decent dry brush with some warm gray. And any areas that I think it went on a little bit too heavy, I just kind of smudge it around with my fingers to kind of help to blend it in and give it a little less of a pronounced appearance. And once it dries, it's a little bit dimmer, and this really looks like nice aged weathered logs. Alright, now we can set this all aside to dry, which shouldn't take long, and then it's time for our assembly step. So the corners of the walls are a little spongy, so I took a few extra chopsticks and just kind of slid them in behind the corners, and that really gave it a lot of firmness. Then to hide the corner seams, I took a few of these rectangular chopsticks, which I painted off camera, and just kind of quickly hot glued them into place in between all of the seams of the foam. Now this does two things. It disguises the edges and really adds a lot of extra character and appearance to the towers. It just... I wasn't 100% sure about this when I started, but as soon as they were in, I was like, yes, this was definitely worth doing. And I cannot recommend enough doing stuff like this to your builds. It just adds a whole lot of extra texture and character. And now we're going to quickly attach the top section, the little guard post, with a little bit of hot glue, line everything up, press down, and we are set. Alright, so just like that, episode 10 is finished. Alright, so this was a pretty quick one to put together. It took me about 5 hours to build both of the towers that you see here. Now that I've got the process down, I can definitely build some more in a much shorter period of time. And I really like how they add some extra accent to the city and to the city walls. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button, subscribe for future content, comment in the comments section down below. Let me know how I'm doing. A couple of more projects left in this series, and we will see you all next episode.